We didn't really kind of introduce the whole nutrigenomics tests and that business, and it's so fascinating. We really kind of just dove into the conversation, but maybe I just take a step back, because for people who are listening, they may not necessarily recognize that this is a company that you've started, and it looks at genetic samples that individuals give, and you do an array of tests on different types of genes, and give back a genetic profile, which will tell a person what their predisposition is to different types of nutrition and different factors in their diet. It seems to me, having this conversation, I've gone through this. So to those who are listening, we're kind of joking, because they've done this test on me, and that's what we're kind of talking. Well, I guess you've done it too, Lisa, and we've all done it. It seems to me, having had this conversation with both of you and having had the test done and read the test, that it's really fascinating. And I think it would be an indispensable part of somebody's nutritional analysis. And Lisa, you're obviously a very well established nutritionist. Would you agree with that? Is this kind of is this thing like a huge test that everybody should be getting?
Short answer is yes. I mean, there's all sorts of things that we need to consider. If you're at risk of disordered eating, probably not the best thing for you to do. If you are suffering from disease right now, we have to look at medical nutrition therapy. It's not necessarily you shouldn't get it done. It just might be talking about prevention of cardiovascular disease. If you've just had a heart attack, maybe we need to work on nutrition for that right away. But honestly, and I work with a great group of dietitians, I would say we recommend it at some point for probably 90% of the people that we see, because there's just so many questions that we can't answer for people. They try to lose weight and they're like, I've tried this diet, didn't work. Well, instead of, trying different diets, maybe we should actually see which one is better for you to do, if there are some genetics underlying why something worked for you or didn't work for you. I see it really as being pretty indispensable. We just put through a couple clients today who are getting their test done. I use it with a lot of clients, and what I really like about it too is it's one test that looks at multiple areas, and it speaks to people. I mean, we all have genetics and different genes, but also speaks to the different goals. And people's goals change. So maybe somebody's goal right now is weight loss, but maybe in the future it's sports performance. And maybe after that, it's looking at fertility. And there's genes that play a part in all of this. And I just, instead of questioning and trial and error, I think it's worth paying for it, getting it done, and knowing what your genetic predispositions are.
Yeah, I mean, when I first had it done, I mean, I was curious. But in the back of my mind, I thought, well, maybe this is kind of like doing an ancestry.com kind of thing, like knowing kind of what my back, like 5% this and 10% that. Maybe it's interesting, but I'm not sure it's going to affect. But then having gone through it and having looked at what my genetic disposition was, it did make a lot of sense to kind of find out about what some of my preferences were and what the suggestions were. I did find. And, I think there was one part in there that made me feel great that said I build muscle extremely fast.
Oh, yes. You were nice ultra with that.
Yeah, I think that was a nice ego boost. That was a nice little thing to put in there.
Is that what really stuck out to you? Was there anything else in your report that really...
I
mentioned caffeine for myself.